Stage 9 between Antofagasta and Iquique has in store the most spectacular finish in the South American Dakar, a 3-kilometre long downhill road towards the Pacific Ocean with an incline of 32%. But before that, the drivers have over 500 kilometres of dusty roads to deal with. A trip to the seaside doesn't come cheap. As usual, first ones in action are the motorbikes. Yesterday, Marc Coma made the most of Cyril Desprez's misfortunes to reclaim top spot in the overall standings, 1 minute and 26 seconds ahead of his KTM teammate. But a wounded Desprez is a dangerous one, and after a third of the stage, he's the fastest man around. The Frenchman is 37 seconds ahead of Joan Barreda-Bort and 1 minute and 12 seconds ahead of Coma. At the end of the first timed zone, Desprez is still well ahead, and Coma even trails 3 minutes and 30 seconds behind. And at that moment, the Frenchman is back in the overall lead in this Dakar. Meanwhile, Joan Barreda-Bort remains in the top 3, just under 5 minutes adrift of the KTM riders. At that point, 120 kilometres are still to go before the infamous dive down towards Iquique. And the final section of the stage sees Desprez capitalise on his excellent driving, as the Frenchman increases his lead on Marc Coma as he finally reaches Iquique with yet another win under his belt. Desprez is now back in the lead in the overall standings, 2 minutes and 28 seconds ahead of his Spanish counterpart. So what a day for the Frenchman, a stage win, back on top in this Dakar. Yesterday's abysmal stage seems long forgotten. In the car category, the bout continues at the top of the standings between the Minis and the Hummers. After 1/3 of the stage, the Americans have the upper hand, with Robbie Gordon and Nasser Al-Attiyah dominating the Minis on the road. At that point, Gordon is ahead, with Al-Attiyah in second place. Behind them, 4 Minis lead the chase: Christoph Lovchik, Stefan Peterancel, Leal dos Santos and Nani Roma. Since the start of this 2012 Dakar, Nasser Al-Attiyah has been in trouble with his Hummer. Several times in the last few days, the Qatari has been forced to stop due to mechanical failures, but always managed to get it going again. Not today, however. Betrayed by a broken alternator belt, Al-Attiyah is forced to retire and bids farewell to this year's Dakar after only 174 kilometres. Fortunately, all is not lost for the Hummers. Robbie Gordon retains the lead as he cruises past checkpoint number 8 ahead of the pack, with the Minis still leading the chase. But the American isn't impressed and increases the gap with Peter Hansel to finally clinch the stage win for Hummer. He completes the stage in 6 hours, 25 minutes and 21 seconds, while Peter Hansel arrives in Iquique 1 minute and 38 seconds later. In the overall standings, the Frenchman retains the lead, with Gordon still in second place.